If a zombie outbreak started today, 99% of the world would be wiped out in just a few weeks. But what if you were a billionaire who spent years of their life and hundreds of millions of dollars developing the perfect doomsday bunker, with decades worth of food, amenities like a swimming pool, and even a private army? Would they make it out alive? Or suffer the same flesh-eating fate as the rest of us? Welcome to Home of Finance, where we dive deep into the world's biggest financial mysteries. Subscribe to help us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, has been secretly preparing for an apocalypse for years. His multi-million-dollar compound isn't just a vacation home. It's a fortress disguised as paradise, and the details will blow your mind. The property spans 1,400 acres on an island in Hawaii, but here's what you can't see from Google Earth: an underground bunker system that makes military installations jealous. We're talking about a 5,000 square foot underground living space with its own power generation, water filtration, and enough food storage for 30 people to survive for decades. The entrance is hidden beneath what appears to be a normal maintenance shed. You'd walk right past it without knowing you're standing on top of a survival city. The bunker features blast-resistant doors that weigh more than most cars, and a tunnel system connecting to multiple exit points across the property. But here's where it gets wild. Zuckerberg spent $270 million on this compound, including $100 million just on privacy measures. There's a 6-foot wall surrounding the entire property, not for keeping people out, but for keeping prying eyes from seeing what's really happening inside. The food storage system is insane. Industrial-grade freezers powered by solar panels and backup generators can preserve food for 50 years. We're talking about protein bars, freeze-dried meals, and hydroponic growing systems that could feed a small army. Each person needs roughly 2,000 calories daily. So Zuckerberg's stockpile contains over 200 million calories, enough to feed 30 people for decades. But it's not just about quantity, it's about variety. While you'd be eating expired canned beans, his menu includes freeze-dried steaks, gourmet pasta, and yes, even ice cream that lasts 25 years. Security measures include motion sensors every 50 feet, thermal imaging cameras that work in complete darkness, and here's the kicker: a private security force that lives on-site year-round. These aren't part-time guards, they're former military personnel whose families have been relocated to the island and integrated into the local community. The compound even has its own medical facility with surgical equipment and enough pharmaceutical supplies to run a small hospital. There's an air filtration system designed to handle chemical, biological, and nuclear threats. But Zuckerberg's plan has a fatal flaw that most billionaires share. It relies on isolation and hired loyalty. See, money stops working when society collapses. Your security team? They have families too, and they're not risking their lives for a paycheck that might be worthless. Hawaii might seem perfect, but it's also a tiny island in the middle of nowhere. When supply chains collapse, being surrounded by water becomes a death trap. Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder, took a different approach. He bought citizenship in New Zealand and a 477-acre estate that doubles as a doomsday retreat. But his strategy reveals something darker about billionaire thinking. Thiel spent $13.5 million on a property in Wanaka, but the real cost was in the preparation. Underground bunkers connected by tunnels, helicopter landing pads for quick escapes, and enough supplies to last 10 years without outside contact. The bunker system is carved directly into solid rock, making it virtually indestructible. The main living area spans 10,000 square feet underground, with sleeping quarters for 50 people, a command center with satellite communication equipment, and workshops for equipment maintenance. Here's what makes Thiel's plan different. He's not just preparing for himself. He's created what amounts to a private army recruitment system. The compound includes housing for 30 security personnel and their families, complete with schools and medical facilities. He's essentially building a feudal system where loyalty is bought with survival. The food production system blows Zuckerberg's out of the water. Thiel installed massive hydroponic farms that can produce fresh vegetables year-round, fish farms for protein, and livestock areas protected by the underground structure. The average person needs 1 gallon of water daily just for drinking, but add cooking, cleaning, and hygiene, and you're looking at 5 gallons per day per person. Thiel's system processes and recycles 2,500 gallons daily, meaning his 50-person capacity isn't just theoretical, it's mathematically sound for long-term survival. The genius part is Thiel's bunker includes manufacturing capabilities, machine shops, 3D printers, electronics repair stations, and raw material storage. While other billionaires are planning to consume their stored resources, Thiel's preparing to rebuild civilization. The security setup is militaristic. Perimeter defenses include anti-aircraft systems disguised as communication towers, underground weapons caches positioned throughout the property, and escape tunnels leading to multiple helicopter extraction points. Yet Thiel's plan has the same fundamental problem as every billionaire bunker. It assumes money and planning can replace community and cooperation. New Zealand might welcome him now, but when resources get scarce, foreign billionaires become pretty obvious targets. Larry Hall came up with a way around this issue, and the answer wasn't a bunker. It's a 15-story underground luxury apartment complex built inside a decommissioned nuclear missile silo. Each condo unit sells for $3 to $4.5 million, and the waiting list is longer than most people's mortgage terms. The building can house 75 people indefinitely, with enough supplies for 5 years without any outside contact. These aren't survival shelters, they're underground hotels for rich people who think the apocalypse will be like a long vacation. Each unit features luxury finishes, full kitchens, and windows that aren't windows. They're LED screens displaying live feeds from the surface. The common areas include a swimming pool, rock climbing wall, movie theater, library, and a restaurant with a professional kitchen. There's a medical center staffed by a doctor who lives on site, a school for children, and even a pet park. The security system is borrowed from military installations. 12-foot thick concrete walls that could withstand a direct nuclear blast, air filtration systems rated for chemical and biological attacks, and enough backup power to run the facility for decades. Food storage includes freeze-dried meals, but also luxury items like wine cellars and gourmet cooking ingredients. The hydroponic farms can produce fresh vegetables, and there's even space for raising small livestock. Storing 2,000 calories per person per day for 75 people for 5 years means they need over 270 million calories on site. That's literally tons of food stacked in climate-controlled warehouses that most grocery stores would envy. Residents pay annual maintenance fees of $200,000 just to keep their units ready. That's like paying for a luxury apartment you might never use. Hall designed the space to maintain social structures during crisis. There's a governance system, job assignments, and even entertainment programming to prevent cabin fever and social breakdown. But the survival condo reveals the biggest flaw in billionaire thinking. They're preparing for disaster by recreating the exact same social systems that might have caused the disaster in the first place. Here's the brutal truth that every billionaire bunker ignores. Survival isn't about having the best stuff, it's about having the right people. Take security, for example. Every billionaire bunker relies on hired protection, but what happens when those guards realize they have all the weapons and their boss only has money? This isn't theoretical, it's already happening. We're talking about physical barriers, weapon caches, and surveillance systems that work when the power grid looks like Swiss cheese, but none of that matters if the people running it decide to switch sides. The food problem is even worse. Most bunkers stock enough supplies for a few years, but what then? We're talking about rice, beans, canned goods, freeze-dried meals that taste like cardboard but keep you breathing. When your supply runs out and your hydroponic systems break down, all those millions spent on gourmet freeze-dried steaks become worthless. Social dynamics destroy these plans faster than any external threat. Bunkers are designed around hierarchy, the billionaire at the top, staff below, but crisis situations flatten hierarchies fast. The person who knows how to fix the water purification system suddenly has more practical power than the person who bought it. These billionaires are used to controlling their environment through money and influence. Bunker life means months or years with the same people, no privacy, no servants, and no escape from personality conflicts. So would a billionaire survive an apocalypse? Probably, but not for very long. Thanks for watching Home of Finance. Subscribe and help us on our journey to 1,000 subscribers.